Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. Today I have my second update for the Graveyard Project Pan collaboration. If you're noticing that my arm is doing something funky off to the side, I'm petting my doggy who's not feeling so hot today. He is not feeling so good. He got a little sick and now he's just a big sucky, so I'm just petting him over here, hanging out with him, but that's not what today's video is about in any way, shape, or form. Today's video is a Project Pan update, and it is an exciting one because the Graveyard Project Pan is just such a fun collaboration project. It was started by Emily and Max, whose channels will both, of course, be linked down in the description box, and the project playlist will, of course, also be linked down in the description box. But this is just such a fun project. I had decided to bypass it last year during my project panning journey. I was just kind of seeing how things would go, and I missed it, so I'm so happy I'm doing it again this year. This is my third time doing this project, and it is always so much fun. There are 2 spooky themed prompts, and I will share those with you as we get into the focus products. You can focus on anything between 5 and 10 items, and personally, I have always worked on 6. It's a spooky number, and I feel like a lot of creators also work on 6 products in this project pan. It's a good amount of items to have some variety, but it's not too overwhelming, if that makes sense. So yeah, I am so excited to share with you the 6 products that I've been focusing on over these past couple months. This is a project pan that is updated every 2 months, so we haven't checked in on these items since the month of June. So it's been a while. Things have changed a lot, and then the next and final update for this project pan will happen on Halloween Day, on a spooky day. So I am so excited. Let's hop on into all of the progress on my 6 products and chat about the prompts. So why don't we kick it off with the collecting cobwebs category. This is a category that is focused on those older items in your collection that have been maybe not getting reached for, not getting used, things that you overlook oftentimes because you're focusing on other things, focusing on newness, whatever the case may be. These are things that you want to bring to the forefront and prioritize again and like blow the dust off of them, make them feel exciting and new again. So in this category, I'm working on 2 items. The first being my UOMA Beauty Stay Woke Concealer. This has been in the project since the introduction, and I am so happy to say that I've reached my goal on it of completing it. It is entirely used up. It took me a lot of uses to be able to use this up because I really didn't have very much progress on it. It was pretty much completely opaque. There was a couple little windows here and there throughout the product, but realistically, I had the majority of this still remaining in here when I rolled it into the project. And over the course of the summer, I've been able to finish it off by using it as an under eye concealer, spot concealer, and sometimes as like a base product. I would mix it with a primer or wear it on its own for more full coverage. And yeah, that's how I was able to use it up. I'm so happy I was able to do so because this shade is called Fair Lady T3, and it is too deep for me for the majority of the year, but this time of year it was perfection. And so this feels very good to me to have it done, used up, and that is a goal hit, which means this is of course rolling out of this project, and I will be rolling something new in its place at the end of the video. In fact, I will be rolling in several items, just a heads up. I actually hit my goal on 4 things, including this next product, which is also in the collecting cobwebs category. This is my Melt Blushlights. It is a cream highlighter and blush kind of combo product, and this is in the shade Golden Hour. This is something that I absolutely loved when I first got it. It is something that actually came in a Melt mystery box, so it wasn't something that I really was anticipating or anything, but I was pleasantly surprised by it when I started playing around with it. And then for whatever reason, just other things that I was focusing on in project pans, highlighters, blushes, all that kind of stuff, I kind of just let this fall by the wayside. And because it's a cream product, I wanted to bring it back to the forefront, and I wanted to try to hit pan on it, which I have done so. I actually did this quite a while back. I think it was in the early parts of July, if I'm not mistaken, mid-July. I have continued to use it since hitting pan on it. I am wearing it today just towards like this inner portion of my cheeks. I do have another blush on and a bronzer on, but I just wanted this for a tiny little bit of extra glow and sheen. It is incredible for that. It is such a beautiful creamy product. The texture is still great, and I'm so happy to see so much product used up. especially considering this is starting to get up there in age. It will be 2 years around this Christmas time that I've had it. And so I want to make sure that these things look loved, especially when they've been in my collection for quite a bit of time. So I'm going to continue to use it. I actually feel like this has become a very regular part of my routine these days. I just love the way that it just offers this super youthful, healthy, just vibrant glow to the cheeks without looking too cakey or makeup-y. But obviously I am wearing makeup. But it's just something that just sits on the skin so impeccably, so perfectly, and it just offers this gorgeous, gorgeous finish, and I can't get enough of it. Actually, it might as well do a little swatchy here. So as you can see, it is super sheeny, but there's no glitter, there's no shimmer, nothing about it is chunky. It just is this gorgeous, gorgeous coral sheen on the skin. A little goes a very long way, so I'm gonna have this in my life for a lot longer, but I'm thinking already that this is probably something I'm gonna focus on using up in 2024 because I really do not want to just let it go bad. So yes, another goal hit. The second category that items can fall into within this project pan is the resurrection category. And this category focuses on those items in your collection that were previously in project pans. This has kind of changed throughout the project history, but virtually what it is anything that has been in a project pan before and you want to bring it back to the forefront, continue to work on it, whether it be to hit a goal that you didn't initially hit or to hit a new one to finish it up, whatever the case may be. So these are all things that were previously in project pans and I've brought them back around to finish up or to hit that goal on. I'm talking in circles at this point. So the first item I've had in the project pan is, again, since the introduction. So far, we've only talked about things that I've had since the introduction because in fact, in my first update, I'd only hit one goal. So there's only one item that's been in here for just 2 months' time. Everything else has been a 4-month focus thus far. And the first item I want to chat about is something that's been in multiple project pans in the past. I always had different kinds of goals for it, whether it be to, use it a certain number of times or just to kind of monitor the usage on it. But regardless, I'm pretty sure it's been in 2 previous projects and my goal with it in this one was to finish it up. It is my Charlotte Tilbury Wonderglow. This is a glowy face primer and I've been able to finish it up. This is something that I just used so much in so many different ways because in my last update of this project pan, I actually had still probably about half of the product, especially considering that the tube does get wider towards the bottom, but this was my marking in the end of June. This is my marking from the end of April when I started this project pan. So I've used a lot in the last 4 months of this project, which feels so good. I was able to use such a volume because I would wear this underneath of my sunscreen on occasion. Sometimes I would wear it on my shoulders, on my chest, on the fronts of my legs. I would use this oftentimes as a body highlighter. And of course, because I was using it in so many different ways and in such a volume, that's how I was able to use it up. I really wanted to ensure that I focused on this through this summertime to be able to use it on my body and to be able to use it, when I have more skin exposed throughout the season. So I'm so happy. All the previous markings, by the way, these 3 here are from previous project pans, but I did start this project with it actually at that line there. So there was a lot to work through in the last about 4 months and I recently finished it off. I cannot get this out of here. It won't actually go through the hole and this is a very thick plastic. It's not something that I feel very comfortable with cutting into to get those last couple uses out. So this is the state it's remaining in. We know I love to dig into my products. I love to cut into my products, but I just feel like this is gonna be more effort than it's worth to try to get into this specific packaging. It's a very sturdy plastic. So I'm just gonna bypass that. I'm gonna omit it. I have other glowy primers and glowy liquid highlighting kind of products that I want to focus on. And yeah, this is done and it feels so incredibly good. Also in the resurrection category, we have a lipstick that I've been working on. This is the Essence Sheer and Shine lipstick in the shade BFF. This is long discontinued because I've had this in my collection for probably 7 years. Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure I got this back in 2016 or 2017. So either way, it's 6 or 7 years old. Very old for a lipstick, but The scent has never changed. This is something that I've had in 2 previous project pans over the years as well. So I was always trying to make consistent progress on it, but in this project, I want to finish it up. I have thankfully dug everything out of the bullet, and I didn't do that before my last update. So this is, I think, the first time that you're seeing this level of progress. So I have dug everything out. I did elect to depot it in order to reach for it a little bit more easily. And this pan right here is what remains from the bullet. So really not that much product remaining in here. I wear this sometimes as a cream blush. Sometimes I wear this as more of like a tinted lip balm. This is the kind of product that I'm not reaching for on an every single day basis. I am trying to ensure that I'm using it a couple times a week in some way, shape, or form. And I do anticipate that given that there's so little in here, I will be able to finish this up in the remainder of this project pan. As we're going into more fall time, however, this color is not really the kind of thing that I have been wanting to reach for. I have been really wanting to reach for more neutrals and things that are a little bit more warm. And so this Essence Sheer and Shine lipstick will remain in the project pan until the finale. At that point, hopefully it will be an empty. What do you think? Do you think I can do it? I think I can. I really do. There's like so little remaining in here. As you can see, it's mostly just on the sides here. This is actually a very thin amount of product. I think it's doable. I just need to remember and continue to reach for it very consistently. I think this is something that I can keep at my desk for work and just toss on as a lip balm every once in a while, just to have that feeling of hydration on the lips, and that would really aid me in finishing this up sooner than later too. Next, for the resurrection category, we have a highlighter from this palette right here. This is the Makeup Geek and Kathleen Lights collaboration palette from absolutely eons ago, but I'm focusing on the middle shade in this, which is called Starlight, a beautiful soft pink. And my goal with this was to hit pan on it, and I have thankfully done that for today's update. That feels so good to me. Yes, it is a tiny pan. Yes, a lot of the product doesn't look like it's highly used, but that feels like a huge accomplishment to me because I've had this product in my life for so long, and pink highlighter is quite challenging. Here is a swatch of it just so you can see just how incredibly reflective and icy it is. So yeah, it was quite challenging. Oftentimes I wore it on the inner corner of my eye in order to ensure that I was reaching for it. I did wear it on the kind of tops of my shoulders as well as on my cheekbones occasionally, but not nearly as often as I just reach for this in the inner corner, and that's why it's quite a small pan. But nevertheless, a pan feels really good in here because this is so old. This is something that I have been completely unable to part with, even though I have tried. I have said that I was going to declutter it and then taken it back. So yeah, this is something that has some level of sentimental value for me because I only had, I think, 1 or 2 other highlighters in my collection before I bought this. That's how I kind of justified bringing it into my collection at the time. And then all of a sudden now I have over 20 highlighters. And so it's something that just hasn't gotten the love that it needs and deserves. And it's getting up there in age, but it feels good to see another pan. I feel happy about that. The 6th and final focus item is one that I rolled in my June update. It is something that I had focused on previously last year in my project pan. It is the NYX Slide On Glide On eyeliner in the shade Golden Bronze. And last update, when I rolled this into the project, I said, I guess if I have to set a goal, I'm going to set a goal to finish it, but that realistically doesn't seem super attainable to me. And I still don't necessarily think that I'll be able to finish it, but I'm gonna work towards the goal of at least finishing it by the end of this year. So I'm gonna continue to reach for this as often as I can, as often as I remember to add it into a look. I will be sharing with you the markings comparison on the screen, and you'll see I have made really good progress. I've reached for this 16 times, which is 16 times more than I probably would have reached for it this summer because seriously, I don't know what it is. Eyeliner just hasn't really been a big part of my routine lately. It's just something that I oftentimes overlook. I'm really focused on the eyeshadows in my pan, those eyeshadows, and I just oftentimes forget to reach for my eyeliners, especially a neutral shade like this. But this is such a beautiful color that I find so flattering and so easy to pair with so many different looks. As you can see in that swatch there, it is just a beautiful metallic bronze shade. And so I don't want to overlook this. I don't want to forget about it. And I definitely want to use it up as opposed to letting it dry out or go bad on me. So I'm going to keep using it as much as I possibly can in the next 2 months, as much as I remember to do so. And I hope that you will see this as an empty at the end of this year when I share with you my year-long empties. But for now, I'm just going to keep working on it. And maybe in the finale, we'll have reached that goal, but realistically, I don't think that that will quite be the case. But I'm excited to show you the marking comparison and to see how much I've actually been able to use up over the duration of this project. So as I said, I was able to actually hit my goal on 4 of my 6 focus items. So the Essence lip will be remaining in the project, as well as the NYX eyeliner, but I'm gonna roll 4 more products to focus on for the remaining 2 months. Now, given the parameters, the collecting cobwebs and the resurrection categories for this project, and the fact that there's only 2 months remaining, I was kind of struggling with what to pull into this project and what kind of goals to set for myself for these 2 months. But I feel pretty happy about the selections that I have decided on. So let's get on into what I'm going to be focusing on for the rest of this project. The first item I have is going to be part of the collecting cobwebs category, and that's simply because I've never had this in a project pan before, and it's something that I've had for a while and haven't really found as a major part of my routine. I reach for it occasionally, but it's not something that truly has made its way into my daily makeup routine, and I'd love to make that happen for the next 2 months. I want to use this as much as possible. This is my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. This is a kind of smoothing primer, but it's not something that I really feel like makes a huge impact in my makeup wear or longevity. I just really don't find that to be the case. So that's why this is something that I use every once in a while. I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't used that in a while, but it's not something that wows me or super excites me. So I want to make sure that I really put it to the test in these next couple of months and see how much progress I can make. I have marked it right here, and I do feel like that's a relatively accurate marking. However, this is not a product that settles completely evenly. So there are some parts of it that are up more high. There are some parts that seem to be a little bit lower, and I really just can't tell if there's even like maybe a bit of a valley in the middle. I don't know, but I've had this standing up for a couple of days now, and yeah, I think that's an accurate-ish marking. So it is shy of half of the product remaining in here. There were originally 32 mils in this, so I don't believe that I'd be able to finish it off in 2 months. But I'm gonna try to use it as much as possible. I'm gonna track my usage on this, and I will share with you a comparison of where it sits in 2 months' time. And hopefully I'll have some more clear and concise thoughts on this product as well at that time. Additionally, for the collecting cobwebs category, I'll be rolling in this little deluxe size sample of the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Blush in the shade Believe, which is a gorgeous mauve color that I think is gonna be just perfect for these early parts of fall for the remainder of the project pan. And my goal is to finish it up. I think that's actually probably doable in 2 months' time. I'm not actually sure how much product is in here. It doesn't say how much product was in here, and I looked on the Sephora app to see if it had said that when I had gotten this as a sample or as a like code. I'm not really sure how I managed to acquire it, but either way, it doesn't actually say the amount of product that is in here. It is highly pigmented though, and there is no windowing happening through it because I really haven't used this that much. I got this time last year, I think in the summertime last year, and I used it a few times then. I've used it here and there throughout the last year, but realistically, I haven't worn it enough. And there really isn't much in here no matter how you swing it. So I think I could actually finish it up in 2 months, which would be so great. I am wearing it today underneath of that cream Blushlight, and it is a perfect kind of almost slightly sunburnt, really fresh kind of look on the cheeks in my opinion. I think it's so pretty. A little definitely does go a very long way though, because I just put a tiny little dot on each cheek and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so vibrant, but it is really beautiful. And yeah, I think I can finish it up. I really do think I can, and that would be so great because this actually does count as a blush in my collection. I actually count this as an entire unit in my collection, not as a sample size, because it is more generous than other sample sizes, and I want to make sure that I actually keep myself accountable to use it up, and hopefully I'll be able to do that in the next 2 months. These next two items are getting rolled in the resurrection category because I have had these both in project pans in the past. However, I'd also say that they're both collecting cobwebs. They're both things that I haven't really been reaching for very often, and really want to remedy that. So this first item is a major YouTube throwback. It's something that I've had in my collection for so long, and I've had in various project pans over the years. It is the Balm's Merry Luminizer highlighter. This is a cult classic. This is a thing that I had sought after for quite a while before I ended up deciding to bring it into my life, and that was years ago. That was probably like 8 years ago, and I still have it, and I still have a lot of product remaining in here. I have repressed it in the past, so I did have quite a bit more pan before, but there still is so much product remaining in this. And my goal with this for these next 2 months, because obviously there's no way I'd be able to use this up, I've already hit pan on it, I decided that I want to expose the first ring in the center of the pan. I think that that is a good goal to ensure that I reach for this often, and I want to see that notable, visible progress. So I think that that is just the perfect goal for me. I can kind of see it starting to be exposed on the side here, but there still is work to be done. So in the next couple of months, I'll ensure that I use this as an inner corner highlight on occasion, and I'll use it on the tops of my cheekbones, and whenever I can, I'll be wearing it on the shoulders as well, just to continue to use a volume of it. I want to make sure that this is still in a good state because I haven't used it in quite some time. So that is a good attainable goal to like really put this to the test and ensure that it is still good to continue to use. And I just want to reignite my love for this product. This is a really beautiful glowy product that, like I said, I sought after for so long. I really wanted it. I really coveted it, and it is beautiful. It still is beautiful. It still is a good old classic highlighter, and I want to make sure that I'm still loving on it if I want to keep it in my collection, which I do. It's something I absolutely cannot declutter or get rid of, so I want to keep using it. And then lastly, for the resurrection category, this is something that I actually had in my project pan this year earlier. I did hit my goal on this item in my project pan, which was a usage goal, but now I want to try to finish up one of these items. So this is the e.l.f. and Jkissa Tsuki to My Heart eyeshadow topper duo. And as you can see, the green side is virtually empty. There really is not much product remaining in this shade called I'm Pupset. And so I want to finish it off in the next 2 months. I really do think that that is 100% attainable. It is very dry in there, however, so it's going to be something that can be a little bit cumbersome to use. I'm going to put a little bit of setting spray into it to kind of like reinvigorate it and to bring a little bit more life to it and hydration. But realistically, look how little is in here. There's so little remaining. I did mark it just here, and I feel like that's pretty accurate. However, when I take out the wand and I look into it, a lot of the product is actually just sitting on the sides and not around the wand. So there really isn't much in here. But I haven't used this since I rolled it out of my project pan, and I had said when I rolled it out that this is something that could easily be finished in the remainder of this year, and I've not been making any sort of progress on it, so I'm gonna force myself to do it with this project pan. I did take the stopper out of this shade long ago, and as you can see, there really isn't much in here, and it really is something that needs to just get used, or else I am going to lose it because it is going to dry up too much. So yeah, I'm gonna use it up. I'm gonna finish it in the next 2 months, and that will be amazing. I'm saying it right now. I'm going to do it. That is a goal that will most definitely be reached. So yeah, I am super excited to see how this project pan wraps up in the next couple months. I am so excited to see everyone else's updates as well today, and of course their finales moving forward. What do you think? Do you think I'll be able to hit all of my goals for my next update for the finale of this project? I really don't think so, because some of these things were a little bit of a stretch. Like the Fenty product, I don't think that I'll be able to finish up that primer, but I'm going to work as much as I can on it. I don't necessarily think that I'll be able to hit my goal on anything else? My eyeliner. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to hit the goal on the eyeliner finishing it up either, but I think I'm just gonna be able to make some really great progress on those items to be able to finish them by the end of 2023. And that sounds great to me. So yes, that is absolutely everything, my friends. Please, please go check out other creators doing this project. And of course, go and check out the project creator, Emily and Max. Everything will be linked down in the description box for you so that you can just go and peruse other content related to this project pan. But that, my friends, is absolutely everything. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone. Wanna try it? Will you eat the lettuce? Oh, you will. You don't like it though. Oh my god, you monster.